Violence and abuse against retail staff fell by a fifth last year, but remains at the second highest level on record. That's according to figures from the British Retail Consortium. Its research also shows that theft cost businesses nearly £400 million in 2025. Thames Valley Police have told us that retail crime will not be tolerated and that they've adopted an overarching strategy to tackle retail crime, focusing on a more effective and consistent response. Good morning to you, Matthew Barber.
Good morning.
Matthew is the elected Conservative Police and Crime Commissioner for the Thames Valley, and you were listening to that conversation. How do you feel listening to that, Matthew?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. We do need to recognise there is that human face to it that even the term shoplifting sometimes sounds quite anonymous, and people think of big retailers who, in some people's opinion, can afford to lose the stock. But so often it's not just about the stock, and frankly, that isn't acceptable either. But it's about the people who are at the end of it. And I've spoken to so many workers in retail and business owners who know their staff don't want to come into work. It creates problems in terms of recruiting staff. So there is a real issue here. It's good to see the overall figures coming down, and we have in Thames Valley done an awful lot more to make sure there is a proper response to retail crime, whether that is the theft, whether it's robbery, whether that's attacks on staff. That stuff really matters. So we do have a much better response, I think, from the police, and you can see the conviction rates going up for those offences. But there is a wider point, I think, that Verity mentioned there about, if you like, the public's attitude, that a lot of that is not coming from what you might think of as hardened criminals who are going out intent on stealing from people regularly. They are what you might think of as normal people who just seem to have a very short temper, who abuse people. That level of behaviour, that lack of civility, is an issue for lots of bits of society, particularly retail. So absolutely, it's right for policing to deal with that criminal element, and that's really important. But actually, I think Verity is on a much bigger issue there about the sort of post-COVID age.
Yeah, well, Verity, I mean, the thing that made me sit upright was when Verity said that some of her, some staff that she works with, some of her colleagues have been spat at. So that's awful. What would the police do about that? What have you done and what are you doing?
Yeah, so you're right. It's absolutely horrendous. One of the big challenges is making sure this stuff is reported now. And one of the things we've done is to roll out a system called DISC. Any retailer who's listening to you who doesn't have DISC already, whether they're large or small, can sign up to this for free. They can visit our website and find out more about DISC. It allows real-time reporting of, if you like, in inverted commas, the lower level stuff. So it might be that you've seen some stock go missing from your store over the last couple of hours and you want to report that. But if you've got someone in your store assaulting staff now, it's call 999. And I think often there's a reluctance to call there and then. Frankly, if someone's being assaulted, and that includes someone spitting at them and being verbally abusive, then you need to get on the phone straight away to the police, because there's a much better chance that the police will actually be able to attend, will be able to deal with that incident there and then, than if it gets called in on 101, at the end of a shift hours later. So we absolutely, I would encourage people to report that sort of offending, because it's not acceptable. It doesn't actually matter whether you're a retail worker, a member of the public, whatever walk of life you're in. We shouldn't tolerate violence towards people, and of course the police should respond to that.
Okay, Matthew, good to talk to you this morning. Matthew Barber is the elected Conservative Police and Crime Commissioner for the Thames Valley, and I